While Bob Keaton was doing the technical things to get ready for this video, I drew a card from Meg Losey's Living Light Cards deck. The card I drew was entitled, Everything from Nothing. The truth is that nothingness doesn't exist, and everything does. Whatever you mean to create will organize out of the heart of creation as soon as the command to do so is made by you and fueled by your passion. The resources for your direction are endless.
Paxton Robey is found online at sedonajournal.com and also at notimeforkarma.com, his website. Everything from nothing, was that correct?
Yes.
Isn't that almost the point we're reaching now, and isn't that kind of why so many of us feel at loose ends?
Now, when we talk about what we're experiencing, we're really only talking about a tiny percentage of the people on the planet. The average person on the planet has no idea about any special energies of 2012 or the Aquarian Age or the shift, the transition. But those that have an intuitive sensibility, those that are sensitive to information from the intuitive realms, are indeed feeling lost, many of them, at least part of the time. I think it really helps to do a little review and remember where we are and what's going on. These are not ordinary times in terms of the last 10, 20, 30,000 years. This is not ordinary life. This is definitely transition time. It happens in cycles. It's nothing unusual. It's happened many times before, will happen many times again. So it's not special in that sense, but it is a time for a particular function here. It is a time for those who are what I refer to as old souls, awakening souls. Many terms have been used recently by New Age folks, planetary transition team, the awakening group, whatever we like to refer to these individuals as. They make up a small percentage of the planetary population, but they do make up millions of individuals at this time. And the familiar, when you're shifting out of purely karmic living, you're shifting out of dealing with what's in your face, lifetime after lifetime, when you have been making growth by trying to be a good person, by trying to be harmless, by following the 10 Commandments and that sort of thing, into the true awakening, which says absolutely nothing on this planet is what it appears to be. Reality is not the brick and mortar reality we're used to dealing with. The reality that we're moving into is so different than the reality we're moving out of that it would be implausible to think we could do it without confusion, without doubting ourselves, without thinking we'd gone a little wacky maybe sometimes. The new, it's not new at all, of course. Nothing new about the New Age. But what appears to be a new way of looking at life, understanding life, using life now is what would have been considered the exclusive realm of masters and mystics, the sages of old, who, so far as the average person was concerned 10,000 years ago, these people did magic. If they could heal, if they could walk on water. And now we're getting to the place where we are, a certain group of individuals are beginning to understand that life is not about the material, the physical, it's about consciousness, it's about mind, it's about thought and emotion and passion, and that from this we can all, nobody's special, everybody's a child of God, we're all the same, we're all divine, so we can all do what the divine individuals have always done. We can all multiply the loaves and fishes and feed the multitudes. We can heal any misconception that people have, whether that misconception outpictures as Alzheimer's or cancer or whatever. We're all moving to the place where this is our right, this is our normal state of being. We are transitioning not out of the usefulness of the old way, but we've completed our function in the usefulness of the old way, that is karmic learning, into becoming the creators that we have always been. So we're, and part of that trip is to open ourselves to the unexpected, open ourselves to the new, to the magnificent, to the splendid, opening ourselves to divine insight, inspiration, communication with our guidance, spending a greater percentage of each day communicating with our guidance and our spirit friends. My sister is a minister. She is she doesn't tell all of her congregation that she attends events like this, like things that we do here. But it's a kind of a joke in her realm, which she reminded me of the other day, that if you talk to God, it's called prayer. If you hear God's voice, it's called schizophrenia.
So if we spend more time in meditation, if we spend more time with our guidance, does that put us in a position where we really can start to create everything from nothing?
It actually does, yes. We're moving into, first of all, we want to remember that we don't understand anything about life on Earth. We have no reference points here. It is not the reality that it appears. There has never been any harm done on this planet. No one has ever been damaged on this planet. So we're moving from a belief in the absolute reality of harm, conflict, pain, struggle, into something that we really have trouble grasping because we don't have reference points for nobody's ever been harmed. Now we make up little stories about, well, in the dream you had last night, you might have been harmed, it might have been a nightmare, it might have been horrible, and when you awoke, you were able to say, oh, that was just a dream, no harm was done. Same thing's true with life on Earth. Now, as we step on up the ladder, we have an infinite distance to go in awakening. That's not a big deal. There is no time, there is no delay. It can all be instantaneous. However, we want to consider some of the ultimate truths, or sometimes we say the absolute truth about reality. Okay? In the absolute truth about reality, there is no time. There is time in our dream, which allows us to learn in a linear fashion without being overwhelmed, one small step at a time. But in the absolute, there is no time, there is no space. In the absolute, we have never been separated from our source. We have many names for source, whatever one you're comfortable with, source or God or original cause, whatever that might be. We're moving back into remembering all that. We came from that, and if I can get a little bit strange here, we came from the oneness without a separate identity of ourself. We were just the one. We've gone through a process which in linear time would appear to have taken millions of years, multiple incarnations, experience after experience after experience, which gave us a unique identity as a separate self. Now, the completion phase of the process we've been going through is to remember who we were originally, that we are source. We've never been disconnected from source. We've never been separated from source. Whatever source could do, we can do, including create universes and everything from make a cup of coffee to create a new universe, to create a big bang. All of that is within our creative ability through thought, emotion, passion. These are the things that create. We want to have the best of all possible worlds. We want to remember our source, our connection, remember who we are, and remember our now newfound uniqueness. So we are unique because in terms of experience and linear time, not to get too strange, but which don't exist, all right, we discovered our unique self, which was a limited self, a self which could not create universes and big bangs, maybe could make a good cup of coffee. Now we want the best of everything brought together, so we are so close to that. In many cases, for many individuals now, literally within this lifetime, all of that memory will come back. And they will be, from that point on, referred to by others on the planet as master teachers or avatars, creators. So the game, so far as we know, never ends. Creation is a process which never ends. Becoming more and more aware is a process which never ends. All of which doesn't mean anything because saying never ends implies time. And there really is no time.
And No Time for Karma is Paxton Robey's website.